What's up, guys? Welcome back to Customs of the Week. I'm Jason. This is Dillon. Oh, so you're not gonna say.
Oh, hey guys.
All right, guys. So for this week, we have a very special episode. We've been on the fence about doing this episode for a while now, just because we don't want to stir up the pot or have any uproars or anything.
Hurt feelings.
Exactly. So today's episode is best custom Jordans of all time, and by best we mean the most impactful, the ones that have inspired tons and tons of customizers after these have been released.
So that's a tough sounding list, man.
Oh,
Best custom Jordans of all time. I mean, there's probably millions to choose from, you know what I mean? But we're going to be discussing some of the most viral ones. That's going to be kind of the keyword that we're going for. These pairs were everywhere when they came out, on Instagram, all the blogs were sharing them and whatnot. And a theme that you'll start to see throughout all the photos is not only the artistry good, but the photography is good too. You know what I mean? The photo locations and how they portrayed the work to the world was really good because it got shared everywhere. So obviously blogs and whatnot had to think that, this is something worth sharing, from the photography to the artistry. So these pairs all went viral. They had a huge impact on the custom community. All of these sparked a lot of creativity and future, kind of knockoffs and variations from other artists that wanted to try their own spin at these themes. So we got a fun episode, man. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Alright, so first up on our list, we have this Jordan 6 done in the Freddy Krueger theme. These were obviously inspired by the Nike SB Freddys, which were unreleased, samples only, and resale value was in the thousands of dollars. So obviously this is a theme that people are going to want to try to recreate on other shoes. And I remember when El Capi first teased these probably 6, 7, 8 years back now. He actually only posted a picture of the back of the shoes where the Jumpman is. And I think it was the first time that I ever saw somebody paint the Jumpman, customize it. And he had the Jordan Jumpman actually looking like Freddy Krueger. So it had the top hat, the claws, the striped sweater, and it was just really cool and super unique, and people were sharing that everywhere. So there was hype around this shoe before he had even shown the full thing. So obviously I also think he executed the theme very well. The stripes are done, the ripped up skin, super cool. The photo's awesome. I love his location choice.
Yeah, the photo is amazing. How he went with this dark, grimy floor. This is like concrete, maybe like an empty warehouse or something. Yeah. And he has this one light fixed on the side that just gives the back shoe this shadow. And it just adds to the overall creepiness and the
grunginess, scariness for sure, man.
So overall, it's a great custom.
Yeah. And this is something that after he did these, everybody wanted to put their own take on the Freddy theme.
So next up we have Masha, the pair of Jordan 5, and he has this Noah's Ark theme on it. Right away you could tell he went the extra mile. He went outside, maybe to a park, and he found these rocks that he placed his shoes on. And the positioning of them is great because it tells that animal standing on a rock feel. You know what I mean? You kind of see in a zoo. And just the overall print of it, nothing collides. No. So that's how you know it's really well done.
Yeah. Each of the prints are kind of on their own panel, and he hand painted all these prints, and doing that is no easy task. The leopard print looks great. Hand painting elephant print, not an easy task. The tiger stripes are awesome. That gradient is super clean from the white to the orange. The zebra stripes on the toe box looks great. The giraffe print. But to me, the standout of these is definitely the midsole, where he captured the actual Noah's Ark with the wooden texture.
Yeah.
I love that he did the waves within the Jordan 5 shark teeth. Those stand out a ton. And then one of the best little details on these, I don't know if you spotted it, but he highlighted the 2 for the 2 animals. So, there's a 23 there.
Yeah, I see that.
So unless you really know Jordans, you wouldn't even know that there's supposed to be a 3 there.
Yeah.
But he only utilized the 2 out of the 23 for the 2 animals. Giraffe print on the Jumpmans on the tongue. And, the photography here, it just adds to the story of the whole shoe. So, obviously animal prints, something that's been done on a ton of different shoes over the years. But after these came out, this sparked a ton of customizers to be inspired by wanting to put their own spin on a similar theme to these. Alright, so next up we have a pair of Jordan 4 Wheaties done by manual labor, and this is one of those that you just did he really do that? You know what I mean? It's so cool. The absolute most craziest part is he really put milk in these. There is milk in these shoes and cereal. That is crazy. Obviously, Jordan had a ton of different sponsors in the 90s. Wheaties was one of them. So as a kid, you wanted to eat your Wheaties in the morning, you know what I mean? And he has, the orange on these Jordan 4s. But, I mean, it's just mind-blowingly crazy to incorporate that into these.
And I think the reason why he went with the setup, his breakfast setup, is to really show what each color on the shoes represents. Like the laces represent the OJ. You obviously see the cereal and like the netting. You see like the white with the milk and whatnot.
Crazy.
So, you know, just like the composition of everything is great. Just like he has an overall theme to it. I think this is just an amazing job.
I think a lot of the other pairs were done in a style that people were like, hey, let me put my own spin on that. But these was one of those where you're like, how do I even compare to that? You know, like, how do I even do that? Because so many people would be like, how do I even include milk and cereal in a shoe? So this was one of those virals that it was just such a standout. So these were absolutely crazy. Great job.
So next up we have Dane Customs with a pair of patchwork Jordan 4s inspired by the Kanye West and Louis Vuitton collab. Right away you could tell these just have that elegant feel to it, you know, like it was actually made by Louis Vuitton.
It really does. It really looks like a real release.
Yeah, like the colors are done really well, like the color combinations are done really well, you know, like everything kind of goes well, nothing clashes together. Like the little hint of red and the what's it called, like the inner
sock liner.
The sock liner, exactly. Like, that's just like a nice touch of like that red pinkish. And it just goes well with the rest of the colors on the shoe.
The color work is really the best part about these. There's so many different panels and areas on a Jordan 4, and he really nailed it with these. And Dank is one of those guys who's able to combine recon work along with painting, and there's some laser engraving here on the midsole capturing those Louis Vuitton prints. On the, you know, for the wings, there's some Louis Vuitton engraving. Obviously the LV on the tongue tag. The tassels on the shoelaces. Like, there's just so many great things about these, and the best part though is that they really look like a release from these companies. Like if Jordan and Louis actually collabed, this is something that they'd come up with. You know what I mean? And this is one of those pairs that once everybody saw these, like, oh wow, it's like, I wish I thought of that first. You know what I mean? I wish I would have brought obviously a Kanye colorway onto a Jordan scheme, and Dank absolutely nailed these. Alright, and last up we have Sab1 coming in with these Warhawk Jordan 5s, and he was definitely one of the first to bring the Warhawk classic airplane theme onto a pair of Jordans, and he's probably the best at it, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody's nailed it as good as him, and he's done it on so many different shoes. I've seen a bunch of variations on these Jordan 5s alone where he's had a more red midsole, more white midsole, a lot of different things, and he goes the extra mile with the photo set, but you know, obviously just his simple gradient, really, you know, nailing these rivets and stuff, all the tiny stencils with the number 23, all the other little logos, just so well executed here.
If you guys have been keeping up with Customs of the Week, you've actually featured this shoe before, and just alone on the pictures, you know, you can just tell he, like, I don't know where you even find an airplane to shoot these pictures next to.
And a tank.
Exactly, but he went and found it, and he shot these, and you know, it just
adds to the story.
It matches
so
the shoe
much,
really
man.
well.
You know what I mean? Like, these just, you could flat out say they're better than being up against like a blank background or a brick house. You know what I mean? Like, it just adds to the story, and it like just increases like the value to it. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to tell a story with your photography also.
So usually at this point of the episode, you know, we'll cut it, we'll say our goodbyes, but we have just one bonus Jordan that we think is really going to go down in history within the custom shoe game. The artistry, the time, the energy, like everything that went into the shoe really shows on the shoe. And it's already created some buzz and some hate around it. So
haters will say it's shopped on these, man. Like, I really do think these are going to go down as one of the best custom shoes of all time. And I know we said earlier in the episode that these weren't necessarily some of the best artistic, like most detailed of all time. We were talking about viralness earlier, but these on artistry alone are one of the best shoes I've ever seen. So this is a pair of Jordan 1s done as a tribute to Kansas University basketball, and these are done by Just Win Customs, and there is just so many different things to talk about here. Right away, I'm going to take a step back before we get into too much of the crazy details here, but just the color blocking alone on this Jordan 1. I think he did a really good job. So when we're talking about color blocking, we're talking about where he separated the different colors, the whites to the blues, the ratios of all this stuff. And this is kind of classic Jordan 1 color blocking where he has just one of the uppermost panels, the sock liner and the swoosh in red, a lot of the other panels in blue, some in white. Just really clean combo. And then actually diving into some of the blue panels, you'll start to see that there's all this clean Kansas University artwork, you know, featuring the conference they're in, some of their Jayhawk logos and whatnot. But for sure the standout of these is the back panel where he has Mario Chalmers hitting the game-winning shot in the national championship. I'm still a little mad about that because it was over Derrick Rose. Nonetheless, the artistry is absolutely amazingly in here. Like, how did he capture the crowd? I just can't even imagine the hours put into this. I mean, when you first saw these, you're like, he painted bokeh. He painted out of focus. Like, how do you do that? That's like mind-blowing that you really think these are Photoshopped. You really think this is printed. You really think this is fake. You don't believe that this is painted. And you can actually see some of the progress photos that he showed of these. I just don't have words for these. I can't imagine the patience these took. I could talk about these all day, but this is just this is a absolute masterpiece. This is one of the best shoes I've ever seen in my life. This is one of my favorite custom shoes of all time. I've seen thousands and thousands and thousands. I've painted thousands, and this is one of the best I've ever seen. Absolutely tremendous job here.
Thank you guys for spending another episode of Customs Week with us. Season 2, episode 3 already. It's moving along really well. We appreciate all the feedback, all the comments, all the likes, everything. We truly, truly appreciate it. We just like to see this community grow, and everyone just gets a little time in the spotlight, you know?
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, make sure you check out our previous 2 videos. We think you'll really like those, and then also make sure you stick around for next week, where we have another special episode like this coming up. And then also, you know, just keep up with our videos, and you know, just give us more suggestions on what you guys like to see.
We got some really cool themes lined up, like you said. We're probably going to be doing some of the best Dragon Ball Z custom shoes ever made, and we have a pretty cool one that we're thinking about some of the best Nike SB inspired themes ever done. So go ahead, send us some suggestions like that. We'd love to hear that from you guys. Like Jason said, we really appreciate your feedback. Make sure you give this video a like if you're enjoying the series. Make sure you subscribe to the page, and we'll see you guys in that next video.